this could end up being a pretty wild day in the crypto market. There's a couple things that have happened overnight that people need to be aware of that are already moving the markets. We're seeing some liveliness, some green ADAs participating in this. And I'm getting a little bit of deja vu when we look at the market, when we look at BTC, and we've seen this formation take place before. And last time it led us on some pretty insane surges. We're going to talk about all that and more in this video. So if you guys are new or haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, hit that bell. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So today's daily candle high so far is actually about 84.50 in terms of ADA price. And we've come back down to about 82.77 at the time of filming this video. And I saw this down at about 82 flat. So we're kind of chopping around and there's a little bit of excitement starting to build heading into today. You guys can see basically a sea of green across the crypto space. Not really surprising. Meme coins are doing well. Once again, this is where you kind of wish ADA was a little bit of a meme coin so it could go on a bit of a surge here. But what we're seeing from BTC is kind of this same formation that we were actually doing the latter part of April into the early part of May, right before it went on a nice little pump to the upside. But what I did was actually look back at last summer. And what we were doing at that point was a very similar trend. And we were approaching this all-time high in a similar fashion. And what I find very interesting about this is we're still not seeing people get out of the way. We're still not seeing shorts get out of the way. This is taking place for BTC. This is taking place for ADA. You know, I just looked at the ADA liquidation heat map and you guys can see there's still a whole bunch of short interest right above here. Some of this I can't even get in frame, even regardless of what time frame I'm going to. So what this is showing us is there's still a lot of fuel ahead. And I was just kind of putzing around and taking a look at, you know, open interest in terms of ADA. We've actually climbed up to this point where we're now at, what is it, $962 million in open interest. And we're very quickly accelerating towards the same type of open interest we had in the market for ADA around the largest liquidation event in crypto history, right? At that time, we were at 1.16 billion. So we're only about, what is that, about 20% away or so. But the crazy thing about this, guys, is we're still on the short side. All right. There's still heavily weighted to the shorts. So we could actually, again, see some major short liquidations move the crypto market up. It's kind of been a very recurring theme, as you guys already know. Now, the things that have happened overnight that have really helped to make the market take some steps forward. It was announced, obviously, later yesterday that there was a trade agreement that was coming between the U.S. and China. And now overnight, there was an announcement that the U.S. cut tariffs on Chinese goods from 145% to 30% for 90 days. And China's lowered tariffs on the US from 125% down to 10% for 90 days. So that is a huge deal because, again, when we think about all this news that has been, you know, causing the market to be red over the prior few months, it's all kind of going away, which is a very big deal. And you're seeing this confidence just begin to take over the space. Now, obviously, the markets have just loved this. We've seen crypto start to move, and of course, stock futures have begun to move. The S&P 500 stock futures jumped 2.8% after the trade deal was announced. So we are seeing some movement today, and things could get pretty wild. You know, if the stock market tends to have these really exciting, pumpy type days, the crypto market tends to follow. In fact, we look at this BTC US 500 chart. I want to remind people, you know, this is the trend that we're on, right? In fact, we're following kind of what we did back here. This was our take a breath moment, right before we essentially take our next major leg. And this, guys, remember, was back in February of 2024, right before the market began to liven up. All right. Now, again, I do want to, and I'll show you guys something else here in just a moment, but remember, today we also have the SEC to discuss tokenization at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with BlackRock, Fidelity, NASDAQ, and more. So this is a very exciting sign. And again, it continues this embrace of crypto here in the US. And obviously with ADA being a US-based crypto, it has a huge opportunity there. Now, I did want to show everybody something on the monthly stochastic RSI, which I've not gotten a chance to do yet. You know, we've looked at some of the other time frames, but what we are actually about to get here is a huge bullish cross on the monthly stochastic RSI. Just for some reference, the prior few times that this took place, October of 2024, right before we had our massive 215% candle to the upside, and also back here in October of 2023, right as we entered the bull market cycle, and we again saw ADA do some pretty significant surges to the upside. At that point, by the time we got our cross to the downside, ADA had run to a high of 227%. All right. So we are basically showing all these signs from ADA to the rest of the crypto market in general that we're about to take some pretty significant steps forward. And I will say that there are still some people that are bearish. They're still saying, "Oh, we're going to drop. Today is going to be bad." And maybe things turn. Maybe we go back the opposite direction. But the problem is now you're really fighting against a major breakout taking place in terms of the total two. You're talking about to be a breakout on the total. I'm sorry, on the total market cap of crypto. You're about to see a breakout on the total two. We're fighting a breakout here on the total three as well. I mean, we're basically at this big, almost boom moment across the crypto space. You can really feel it. And maybe we kind of chop around for just a little bit before we make that move. But at the same time, there is enough in the market. There's enough good news. There's enough short leverage in the way. There's enough confidence to, in fact, make this breakout big, explosive, and really cause retail to start chasing. Now, I did want to show you guys as well. I still do obviously have my ADA long open. That's up about 36% right now, doing quite well. My SHIB long that I opened up yesterday morning, that's up about 67% right now. Both of those are doing well as well. So again, if you guys do want to obviously check out BTCC or Margex, there are referral links in the description below. Understand that there is risk that comes with leverage, so definitely know what you're doing. I would actually recommend, if you are going to do this, there is a demo trading platform, so play with that before you dive in. But we're again getting very close to some pretty significant surges across the crypto space. We had good volume through the weekend, and I expect this to be a very high volume week. And I want to remind people, Wednesday we have that CPI report. That's something that, again, could in fact create a little bit more spark for the market. So we'll see what happens. But I appreciate you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below, but have a great day. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.